Hi, this is Pearl and welcome to my channel. Today I have for you the process video for my week 46 of my 2020 Project Life album. I am using the Studio Calico Documenter Kit, and you'll see I have a huge stack of photos here, and that's because the 12th of the month is in this week's layout, and when I remember, actually it's when I can wake up and I remember that it's the 12th, I like to take 12 pictures for the 12th, so it's kind of like a day in the life, but it's just in photos, not word heavy or anything like that. And I like to include 12 pictures from the day on the 12th. So that's going to happen this month, so I have a lot more photos than I normally do. So this process video is going to take just a little bit longer than my normal process video. So you see I have pictures printed out. I do use my Epson PM400 printer, and I print all my photos at home, and I put the dates on the backs of these photos so I can remember when I took the photos. That I do all of that in batch printing and batch labeling and dating. And then the 3x4s, I use an app on my phone, and I put two 3x4 photos on there, and then I use the Epson app to print the white borders around the photos. And then I use my tonic guillotine to cut my photos because I think it's a great photo trimmer. Now I'm going to put aside the actual layout for the week, and I'm going to work on my 12 photos for the 12th. Now I'm using my Staedtler fine liner, which is a permanent ink, and I'm getting these pictures in order, and I put the times on the backs of these photos so I can put them in chronological order. And you'll see here that I'm not going to make this word heavy, but I am putting them in order by the time, so I know in what order these photos were taken. So I'm using two different page protectors as inserts because whenever I insert more photos into my layout, I'd like to use a page protector that's less than 12 by 12 so that I can know that this insert goes within the week of the 12 by 12 layouts. So I have printed some photos here, and the vertical photos I have as 3x4, but I will be printing some more out here because I realize that I have two vertical 4x6s that I can add on there. So I am going ahead and inserting these photos into these page protectors. Now the photo of the fruit that I just put in, I'm going to print that out again, so you'll see that there in just a second. And I am putting them in chronological order with the date time, or as much as I can. I'm also using this 3-up 4x6 horizontal landscape page protector because I'm using two inserts for my 12 of 12. So I'm putting these in because I don't have these cut up on white cardstock, which probably I should do just to make things easier for when I do actually work on inserts, something for me to do sometime in the future. So I'm looking at all of these photos, and what I'm going to do is I did end up actually printing out a little bit more than 12 photos, but you'll see how I'm going to change that here in a second. So I reprinted these photos out, and I'm putting the date and times on the backs of these photos and including them. That one is of a Trader Joe haul that I did. And the berries, what I like to do after I go shopping at Trader Joe's, since we are a family of 6, we go through fruits and vegetables so quickly. But I noticed that if I soak my berries in part vinegar and part water wash and soak them for 10 minutes, even the organic berries, they last a lot longer in my fridge. And if they're pre-washed, my kids are more likely to go into there and get their fruit as a snack. So I always pre-wash all the fruits and veggies before or when I get home from shopping. So you see a little sampling of that there. But I like to remind myself that that is what I actually do. So now that I have all my photos into the inserts that I want, I'm going through the 3x4 journaling cards that came with the Studio Calico Documenter Kit. And I love this month's kit because it's all about books and reading, and I listen to audiobooks constantly, especially while I'm doing work around the house, because I don't listen to any serious books, just easy listening. You know, if I want to read books that are more for reference, I have to have the actual physical book with a highlighter and a pen so I can take notes, or else I won't remember anything. So I do listen to a lot of audiobooks. I do have a subscription on audible.com, and also with my Kindle I can get some books on audio as well. Okay, I'm using this alpha stamp set from Felicity Jane, and I'm going to use 12 of 12, and I'm going to use the Versamark so that I can heat emboss the 12 of 12. I'm going to stamp this on this beige card with polka dots, so I want to add a little more texture, and you can see that I'm fussing with the 12 of 12 to make sure it comes out straight. So I put them on an acrylic block, and then I'm going to use my Versamark, excuse me, to stamp the 12 of, and then I'm going to take off the of and stamp 12. I'm using a Zing embossing powder with the gold glitter, and you'll see I'm putting that on there. And I should have used a powder tool, but I think I just forgot until it was too late. So you'll see there, I'm trying to get off the excess powder, and then I'm using my heat gun to heat emboss the 12 of 12. So this always adds a nice bit of texture to my project life layouts. Typically, I don't like to go outside of the kit to use other products I may have, just so that I limit myself on the different products I can use so that I do get done with my layouts quickly, because this is not as much an expression of my creative side as much as documenting what our life looks like every day. I hope that makes sense. So I try to do most of my creative work while I'm working on my 12 by 12 layouts, which I've been really working on a lot and adding to my kids' albums. But that's a story for another time. So I put the 12 by 12 there, and I'm using these Felicity Jane Gold Alphas here, and I'm going to use them to number my photos from 1 to 12. And again, I have to look on the back of the photos, and I don't like to take my photos in and out of page protectors, so that's why on my 12 by 12 layout you see that I have a grid drawn out for page protector A, but I don't have that for these inserts, which I may need to do if I continue having a lot of inserts. But in the 12 years I've done this, I have never drawn inserts for, or drawn out the guidelines for different page protectors for my inserts. So I guess I've been suffering for 10 years. I can keep on going. So now I'm taking all these photos back out of my the page protectors, putting them back in chronological order, because I do have the times written on the backs of these, and I'm going to put stickers down as to the chronological order of these photos. As I'm putting these number stickers onto the photos, some of them, the sticky part is coming off, so I'm using my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive in a fine line applicator, and I'll have all these products linked down below in case you're interested. And I like the fine liner, especially when I'm putting them onto alphas and numbers, because it's a skinny line that I can control. So I do number all of these from 1 to 12. And what I end up doing is I'll put these back in the page protectors, and then I'm going to be using a Project Life, the digital app, to do some of my journaling. So I can talk to you about that a little bit. I use the Project Life app, and I use one of the journaling cards that I've already purchased in the past, and I use that to do my journaling. And this is what I wrote in my journaling, and you'll see that I'm going to have that printed out here. It says 07:55, start each morning getting ready to upload my YouTube videos and check email. 8:57, the kids get ready to start school online by logging into their computers. 09:26, a trip to Trader Joe's to stock up on some food, fruits, veggies, and snacks. 09:57, the littles watching some TV while having a snack on their break from school. 10:33, washing all of the berries with vinegar so they'll last longer in the fridge. 11 o'clock, Kaya spending some time working on her pottery wheel for a gift for her dance teacher. 11:31, recording a beauty YouTube video while the kids are quiet doing school. 14:27, oh, by the way, I'm a nurse, so that's why I use this army time. Uni using the hot glue gun for a science project he's making where he turns the handle and the wheels start turning. Amazing. 14:54, exhausted, time for a nap. 15:29, Kaya waiting for her dance class to start while social distancing. 15:43, Christian can be found in bed watching YouTube videos before it's time for dinner. 17:30, Kaya putting mascara on while pretending to make a YouTube video. She's 5. And she's putting mascara on. Actually, it's kind of scary how good she is. But I guess because I do also have a YouTube video or beauty YouTube channel, she does see me doing this a lot, so she does get some practice. And then the last thing I write on there is good night, and that is what I spelled out on the last photo for this, which is not numbered, but I did take a picture driving home with all the beautiful sky, and I decided to write goodnight on that photo. So there's that. Then I looked for some 4x6 journaling cards to put just on the bottom there, and I'm using a Studio Calico 4x6 journaling card, and it's just a photo that says, "Between the pages of a book is a lovely place to be," and I love that. Now I'm going to work on the main layout for this week. I'm getting all my layouts here ready. I'm putting the pictures again in semi-chronological order, and you'll notice that I ended up printing out more photos for this because I had so many photos for my 12 of 12. So I printed out a few more photos. This is also the week that our family did our family photo shoot. I try to do this as a gift to myself so that I can be in some of the pictures as well for my birthday every year. And this year it was a little bit late because my birthday is in October, and my girlfriend took these photos for us. She's such a beautiful photographer. I mean, I'm so happy with the photos that we came out with. And this is also when I find a photo to use for our holiday cards. So I'm going through the 3x4 journaling cards there, and you'll see I'm trying to balance the colors. There's two black journal filler cards, and also since I'm using the very left 3x4 card as my title card, I'm putting the numbers 46 on there. And then the yellow on the very left hand side is balancing with the yellow and black on the very right hand side where it looks like there's file tab folders. I'm taking this what is this? Acrylic? No, it's not acrylic. It's plastic that says November with the circle, and I'm just cutting off the top portion of this plastic because I do like to have things hanging off the edge. It makes things visually interesting for someone to look at. Yet I have enough white space on that card that your eye has a place to rest. So the first photo that we have here is of me getting my hair done, and I'm using the print and cut labels that they sell on the Studio Calico blog on their website, I should say. And I'm using a gray vintage Zebra Sarasa pen. I like to use gray as my journaling pen because it's not as stark as black, yet it's still very easy to read. So I do use that for my journaling. And I wrote, after not having my hair done in 15 months, finally went to see Monique for a cut and color. So I'm using the One Canoe 2 roller date stamp and stazon ink to date stamp all of my photos. And I use the Kokuyo adhesive, which is my favorite roller adhesive, to use on the labels. And I'm using Tim Holtz mini snips to cut off the edge. Again, I like to have things hanging off the edge. So on this next photo, I wrote, "The Tams came over for a weekday play date." Now, we don't usually have weekday play dates, but because of the social distancing and the emotional needs of my kids and social needs, we did end up having some friends over just last minute to play. Now, this picture is a picture of my x-ray that I did on my knee. If you remember back in October, I had a skateboarding accident while skateboarding with my son, and I'm writing about that on this journaling card that says, "Every day is a new adventure." After my skateboarding accident back in October, my knee was still hurting, so I finally went to the doctor. Nothing broken. He was recommending PT, but I told him I would try the exercises at home first. By the way, that failed. But more of that coming in my next Project Life album. So I journal that, then I go ahead and date stamp that using the One Canoe 2 roller date stamp. And then the bottom photos that you'll see here is one of my kids with their super long hair. We didn't really get haircuts during the pandemic. And then the next one is after. So I do use letter stickers to put before and after on the bottom photos. I did use some chipboard embellishments, and I used my Kokuyo roller adhesive to adhere those down. So this is where I'm spelling out before and after, but I think my kids look good with long hair, but it looks so shaggy. So before we do our family photos, they did go and get their haircuts. Always a good time to get that done, right? Now for this, I'm just using a Felicity Jane Alpha puffy stickers that I have from some of my Felicity Jane kits, because when I do my Felicity Jane order, I do always order more alphas because I do have more titles than I can use with just one set of alphas. So that's what I'm using for this before and after. And then after I do that, I'm going to work on the second half of my layout. After I add a little more chipboard, the leaves, and these are so beautiful that I love this. Now I try to do the leaves in odd numbers, and you'll see that even though on the left hand side of my layout I only put 2 leaves, on the right hand side I end up putting 3. So odd numbers is always visually more appealing. Triangles are better, but I do end up putting 5 leaves on there. So now working on the right hand side of my layout, I do like to put the dates on every photo. So I am stamping the date using stazon ink for every photo. And on this particular journaling card, it's numbered 1 through 4. So number 1, I wrote family photo shoot. Number 2, I can't even read it. Oh, photo shoot by Gina, which is my girlfriend. And 3, I wrote at the Rancho Penasquito's big house. And 4, love these pictures of the kids. So I love having pictures taken by a professional photographer because I know I can take these photos, but I've gotten to the point where the iPhone photos are so good that I've gotten lazy of taking out my big camera and taking good pictures of my kids. And I didn't insert any here, but I did get pictures of the entire family, which is what I pay the professional photographer to do, because I like to be in some of the professional photos, or photos period, I should say, other than selfies. So there you have it. That is my week 46. And you saw that I put 3 chipboard leaves on there, and I'm showing you what my layouts are going to look like with the inserts in there. And the one thing I do need to do is put in the Avery index tabs on the sides of those. And so here you'll see some pictures of what my layout looks like. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know every time I upload a new video, and I'll see you next time.